now going to look at how you create a new program in Elan. And as soon as you hit the new button, you'll be presented with an empty file like this. There's a comment at the top showing the Elan version. You're likely to be using a later version than I'm showing here. This comment is system generated and can't be removed or edited. And then we have what we call a selector. In this case, it's the global selector, meaning that I want to insert some code at global level, at the top level in the file. And these are the options that are available to me. Now, you may be using a version of Elan where you see fewer options than this because they've been restricted by a profile, and that's okay. I'm using the full version with all of the capabilities here. And so I'm going to start with a main. I don't have to, but if you're writing a program that's going to run, you're going to need a main at some point. So I'll select main, and I just need to type main, or in fact I just need to type the letter M because only one of those words began with M, and that's inserted a main frame. If I select it, you can see that there. And inside is another new code selector showing me the statements or the frames that I can add into a main. And so, for example, I might start with a print, and P will give me that. And now we have a field with a grey background indicating that that is optional. If I just have the word print on its own, it will print a blank line. But if I want to put some content into it, I can write a string, for example, hello. And notice that at the end of the field, we have quotation marks in white indicating that I do need to add closing quotation marks. It deliberately doesn't add it for you, but it prompts you that you're going to need it. And until you do that, the field is incomplete. That's why it's showing amber. And remember that all the colors here are configurable if you have difficulty distinguishing red, amber, and green. So I can either type the close quote or just cursor right or tab, and that will pick it up. And notice that the field goes green. That's now a valid field. And over here, the status panel is showing that my whole program is parsing correctly. And in fact, as soon as I move off that field, or if I hit enter, it is going to compile. And again, it's compiling correctly. So let's add another example. We'll add a var frame, which is to declare a variable. This gives me two fields, both of which are amber. So notice that the overall parse status has gone back to amber because I have at least one field that is amber. And so I need to give my variable a name and set it to an initial value, which I'll pick 3. And then I could print A. Now, occasionally there are keywords that begin with the same letter. So, for example, if and input here. So if I want to select if, that will narrow it. The I will narrow it to if and input, and I just type the F to indicate that I wanted an if. And there I must provide a condition and say if A is less than 10, shall we say, that's now parsing. Then set. That's how we assign a variable, a new value to a variable. So set A to A plus 1. And so that's how we enter code in Elan. Now notice that as we've been creating code, a number of new code selectors have been added. If you click on them or navigate to them with cursor keys, you can see that each one indicates what's available at that point. This was the global selector at the leftmost, the one without any indentation. But notice that main has gone because you can only have one main routine within a program. Here we've got the same selector that we had before. We can add a variety of different kinds of statements, and here also. In this one, which is at the same level as the then, the only two options are adding an else clause into the if with the option of writing an else if. So if we wanted else if, now we have to specify a condition. Or there was also the option of a comment there. I can add a comment in most places if I want to. Now, to neaten up your code, you may decide, oh, I don't need any new code further in that then clause. I can just click on it or navigate to it and press the delete key. It's the only type of frame you can delete without pressing control, and that's because you're not losing any code